great story about, who's this gentleman?
George Washington.
Very good.
Oh, I thought that was a self-portrait you made.
That was me. Yeah, he's crossing the Potomac, I think, in this picture.
Isn't that on Christmas Eve or something like that? Or Christmas
like
Day,
that, yeah.
Christmas morning?
Yeah. So what happened was, it was the end of the war. I'm sorry, it was the end of the year. We as the Americans, I'm sure all of us trace our heritage to the Pilgrims. I don't, but no. We as the Americans, we were not winning the war. It was like the end of the year. The next day we would probably not, get paid. We'd all be a volunteer because the country didn't have any money. So George goes to his men and he says, "Hey, I need you to here next year." And they all kind of like say, "No, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I'm not coming back. This is disgusting." So he rides away in some anger and disgust, thinks about what he's going to say, puts his feet on the floor, feels about the earth coming, the wind coming through his back, feels, from Maine all the way to California, kidding. And he comes up with this speech. Who wants to read that speech? Kyle, let's have you read the speech.
All right, I dummy myself here. Move this out of the way so I can read it too. My brave fellows, you have done all I asked you to do, and more than can be reasonably expected. But your country is at stake. Your wives, your houses, and all that you hold dear. You have worn yourselves out with fatigues and hardships, but we know not how to spare you. If you will consent to stay 1 month longer, you will render that service to the cause of liberty and to your country, which you probably can never do under any other circumstances.
So, if you were reading this speech to your team, how much of this would you change? I mean, this is perhaps one of the most powerful examples of centering on your purpose. It's one of the most powerful examples of saying, you know what? The fact that COVID-19 is here is the opportunity to really show our dedication, which we couldn't do in normal times. How might you restate that, Kyle, if you were talking to your team as they were getting tired, getting pissed off about these cancellations and how hard life is, and I just can't take it anymore, and I'm going to go get a brewski?
That's a great question. And I mean, obviously, to put it into, English of our generation,
yes,
I guess, but basically to say, I mean, yes, that times are hard right now and more is being asked of you than ever before. And there's a lot going on, but it's also an opportunity to do things that no one in our generation has ever done before. To create an atmosphere around us where we can help each other and therefore help others literally save lives. We can literally save lives with what we're doing right now, and be a force of strength for our entire country. And it's going to take more than we've ever given, but it's a worthwhile endeavor because there are friends and families' lives at stake to make this happen.
So after Kyle said that, how many of you with the raise a hand would follow him into the war? Queen Marissa, not yet.
Nash doesn't follow anybody, so I'd ask her to say this for me to the team, realistically.
Yeah. Like a halvesies on that. You said follow you into the war, man.
Okay, all right. Anyways,
Nash is already the Trojan horse going into the war.
Yes, sure. Anyways, I think this is a good place to end today. I think that to me, this is a culmination of our work today, these 2 hours, which is, this is a man, probably one of the greatest men in the history, at least of our country, who at a point of pretty much it's over, like if you really read the history, this country was not going to happen. In fact, what I read, I think in the journal was the British basically said to George Washington, you know what? You can have your liberties. We're going to take the taxes away. We're whatever you want, you can have. You can have, you don't have to be, under the rule of the king anymore. You can have some lax, but we just want you to still stay part of England with these freedoms. And then we won't come and kill you. And George said, hell no. Hell no. It's not worth it. It's more worth it to actually risk our lives so we can have this thing called America, where we can pursue life, liberty, and happiness, than to have to be under the king. And shit happened, and lots of people died. I think it was like 90% of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, they died like in the next 2 years because their lives just went to hell. Now hopefully that doesn't happen for us. But I do think that this is really someone stepping into what he really cares about, and bringing other people's along to their, you can see he declared a future here, right? Liberty, your country, your wives, your houses, all that you hold dear. What did you like about today's workshop?